everybody, it's Bulldog, and I've got a very different type of video for you today. Since I just now got a new account, so I haven't had a lot of actual video or strategy to show you guys. But I've got something different that I was kind of surprised by, and that's that a lot of people are not aware of Discord and these Discord bots that you can use to help improve your gameplay, or just make things make your life easier as far as the game goes. And I know some guilds still use Line, for example, so a lot of those people aren't familiar with this. Even if your guild is not using Discord, I highly recommend signing up for an account and joining one of these servers that has these bots in it. My server has a lot of these here, so there's an invite link in the description if you would like to join that. It doesn't have to be my server. A lot of the guild servers have it. Some of the other YouTubers there are. There's some for each faction. There's all sorts of servers out there that you can join to use these bots on. So you can find whichever ones you like the best. But I want to just kind of run through some of them and what they can do, just so that if you're not using them, you can see the benefits for them. And if you are familiar with them, there's one that I found that people aren't aware of, and that's because it's a paid bot, so it's not on every server. That's the Ares bot. I'm going to talk about that last. Since it's a paid one, I'm going to get the free ones talked about first. But if you're familiar with these free bots and want to know about Ares, skip to the end and you can hear about that. But anyway, so over here on the side, you're going to see, so my guild, I've got basically 8 different bots. Some of them, this welcomer bot is just for the server, but there's various different ones here, and you can just type in codes and they're going to give you information. So you can see there is on like the first one I've got up is the counter bot, and none of these bots are mine, by the way. So this is not an advertisement I guess it kind of is an advertisement, but I am not benefiting it by you using these bots. So this is not anything for me. I'm just kind of trying to share how useful they are. So first one I've got is a counter bot. Each one has an initial letter symbol that you're going to use. So over here you can see it's equals for the counter bot. So I hit equals help and it will tell me some of the commands that I can use. And this bot is all about showing different counters for different teams. So here I'd use first order. So I hit E, C, I think the help said counter, but I knew C was an abbreviation. E, counter, first order. And it's going to show you a bunch of different counters for first order. So if you're playing in Grand Arena, playing in Territory Wars, and you come across this team that you're not really sure what the best way to approach it is, you can come here, type in the team name, and it's going to show you different ones. So counter, here was a Sith Empire if you're trying to beat the current meta. Some of them have these videos here. So right here is counter video. Those are some of the videos that I've done for the counter bots, and it just helps you see. Basically, it's what's already here in words, but sometimes it helps to actually see it being played out, and that's what that does. So it can be helpful, and it's a great resource if you're still learning how to counter some of these teams, or a lot of newer players. As you progress, you'll face and see teams that you've never seen before. Great options there, and showing some things. This DSR bot is probably the one I use the most. Every time I come across a new Grand Arena match, I come and do this GA matchup, and I think I've got one down here that I'll show you. I also use the mod check to make sure all my mods are in order. Those are probably the 2 most common that I use. But there are a lot of other things here, very helpful for guild leaders if you're trying to look at another person's account or anything. And so here was first one I've got is a mod check. I should have a Grand Arena comparison, but the mod check it's going to look at my characters and see who doesn't have mods that maybe I might want them on. I think it's set for gear 10. Yep, characters above gear 10. I don't know if that gear 10 includes gear 10 or not, but it doesn't matter. This X column is mod characters, or an empty mod slot, so I need to add a mod. Y is there's a mod there, but it's not level 15, so I need to find a different one or just level it up. And okay, so like right now, Big Z's right here. I was just doing a counter video where I was using Big Z, and I moved his mods around. Apparently I missed one. So I probably would not have known that and gotten into a Grand Arena match, and who knows, I could have, depending on how important one single mod piece is. I could lose a battle all because I entered it. I thought somebody was modded. Can be really devastating if it's somebody that you need to go first. Like let's say you're running a Rex lead and you've got Rex really fast and he needs to go first, but oh, you forgot one of his mods and now he's slower and now you just lost the match all because you didn't know there was a mod there. So this is very helpful. I type that in pretty much before every Grand Arena or Territory Wars to make sure I haven't screwed up any of the mods. Of course, I move mods around a lot for videos, so maybe I use that more than most. But anyways, Grand Arena comparison. Apparently, I don't have one directly here, but let me scroll up. I know there's one. It's been a while since we've had a Grand Arena, but surely somebody is using it up here. All right. Okay, here's one right here. Well, that was me trying to use it and failing. Okay, here's somebody's matchup. Well, they're comparing it with themselves, but so they typed in something wrong. But that's okay. You can still see the point here. That it's going to show the GP, the character GP. It's going to look at mods over here as far as you can compare speed and see how they mod compared to yours. Number of Gear 12 characters, Gear 13 characters. And it's going to show key characters and how fast they are, how much damage they've got them, whether you've got them unlocked at all. So it's a great thing to look at when you're trying to see your matchup. Obviously, you still want to go in and look at their roster and actually properly scout it. But that's a great initial overview. I see this posted on the forums and Reddit all the time, and it kind of amazes me how often people are unaware that this even exists. They see it and like, oh, that's cool. How'd you get that? And this is how you do it. So, all right, let's scroll back down to where we were. I don't even know where we were at. Let's jump to present. Okay, I had some of these lined up. Just some good examples of things to do. Let's go back. Oh, I think we were right here. Imperial Probe Droid. That's another very common one. And the one that I like to use it for is comparing guilds in Territory Wars. So I think I've got an example here. Yeah, so here's an example. I just used some random person, and I tried to compare it with myself. Hope that was one where it showed me all the Darth characters because I typed it in wrong. Here's where I tried to compare it with myself, except I'm not in a guild at the moment, as territory battles are going on and I can't join one. But it'll show like, okay, so you can look at the stats for the other guild. Darth Malak, you can see how many Malaks they have, how they're Zated, how many Gear 13. You can search by whichever characters you want. You can see Grievous. Okay, they've got the 23 Gear 13 Grievuses. So maybe you want to plan for that, or maybe you don't want to set. Maybe if the team's got a bunch of Gear 13 Grievuses, and maybe you'd search by like the Imperial Probe Droid or some of the characters that are involved in that counter. And okay, if they've got a lot of Grievous counters lined up for that squad that can take out Malak, then maybe you don't want to put your Malaks on defense because they're prepared for that. But however you want to use that, it's absolutely very helpful. There's this protocol, AP5R protocol droid. That one will, like a lot of people use to show their stats like this. This is a cool way out of a character stat if you're trying to show somebody what your character is or how much speed or how much offense or that type of thing. It's very nice. I don't use that one as much, but it can certainly be used. There are, what have I not shown yet? As you can see my conversation there. Let's see, the Scorpio bot should be able to give me Zeta recommendations for Grand Arena. Okay, who should I Zeta next? It's thinking. Here, trying to figure out who you want to Zeta next. This is a good place to start. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend going right down the line. It can vary, depends on what characters you've already got. As always, the state of the game is constantly changing. So, with any of these bots that recommend counters or recommend Zetas, it's a good starting point. I don't recommend relying 100% on them, but it's a great place to start and just another good resource. We've got an event bot. I think it's on a separate server. Yep, right here. You can type in the calendar. It's going to show you all the events that are coming up. You could search even today's date, I believe, and see what events are on today, that type of thing. So some pretty amazing bots, amazing resources that can help you play. Okay, then the bot that I mentioned before, that's a paid bot, costs $30 per server, is this Ares bot, and I make it available to all my Patreon supporters. So anybody that donates any amount of money to me, as low as $2, gets access to this. So it basically the individual one, what it's going to do is pretty simple. It's going to message you when you drop in Arena or Ships Arena. You can do one or the other. You can change and adjust the settings and that type of thing. But you can see this is a direct message. So the bot sends me a message within 2 minutes of when I fall in Arena, and that can be very helpful if you, especially as you get the final hour of your payout. There's probably nobody watching this video who has not been hit by somebody close to their payout, whether it's an enemy coming in and hitting you, or even just a friendly ally who forgot your payout and decided that they wanted to hit you close to your payout. This is very useful for knowing when you fall. If you can set up a channel for it for the whole server. If you've got some of those enemies, you can track when they're moving up. You can track people's payout. You can look at all that type of thing. So it's very useful for a server. $30 a server is not that expensive when you consider how many people could be using it per person. That's basically, I shouldn't say basically nothing, but if you've got one of my fleet arena, I think had like 50 people in it, and if each person was dividing that up, I mean, you're talking about cents per person. So it can, if you guys can work that out, I highly recommend this bot if you can afford that, or get people to split it up so that it's very cheap. So, and again, I don't profit off of you buying this or anything like that. So this is not me trying to sell you something or profit off of that. It's just I really like this bot, so I'm giving it my recommendation. And it again, there's so many more features that I haven't showed you guys from the bots, but I'm not going to go through them all. I just, again, wanted to make this video because I get so many questions about how to use bots, what they do, people that don't even know that they exist, so I wanted to put this out there. If you have any questions about them, come to my server. We can help show you how to use them. You can play around with them, all sorts of things. And it's just a great resource. So I really appreciate all you guys listening. I've had so much support this last few weeks. You guys have been awesome. I'm not going to make this video about that, but I did want to say thank you to everybody. I've got a bunch of new Patreon supporters, so thank you very much. I'll list you guys here at the end. There have been some that there was a fundraiser outside of Patreon to help me get some of my characters back up in my new account. Thank you so much. I can't say thanks enough. You guys have been absolutely outstanding. The community's been awesome, and I appreciate all of you guys. And you have motivated me to stay with the game and continue making these videos. And I'm not going anywhere. So should be some more. I'm going to start streaming Grand Arena. There's going to be a lot of videos that are more useful than this one, because I know most of you already know about these bots. But it was something that I could make while I wasn't playing. So trying to help any way I can while I wasn't playing the game. But I'm back now. So thank you guys very much, and I hope you all have a great evening.